Having a window facing the parking lot is the worst decision I ever made because every time someone walks past, I feel like they are going to stare in my room and see that I'm filming a YouTube video. Okay. Anyway.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
I instinctively want to say hi chat anytime there's a camera on me, and I don't like it. Anyway, if you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Lily. I'm an art student studying to become a concept artist. And today I'm going to look through my very first sketchbook. Just take it all in. This sketchbook is from 2015. So I believe I was in like 7th or 8th grade when I made this. You can see very clearly what my interests were. Not much has changed. Like I said before, this is the first sketchbook I ever made and is the only sketchbook I ever fully finished. Yikes. Don't expect greatness. In fact, expect a lot of crap. But this is basically where I taught myself how to draw. And if you don't know anything about me, I basically discovered I wanted to be an artist at a very young age, but didn't really do anything about it until middle school. And with that said, let's get on into it. So on the first page, we've got the date, October 24th, 2015. This was a few days after my birthday. I'm pretty sure I got this for my birthday. And I wrote down a few goals. I wonder if I accomplished any. Finish around February 2016. Did I actually do that? I don't think I dated any of these pages, to be completely honest. Oh look, and there's a chunk of empty pages in the back, so I didn't really finish this one. Wow, okay, good for me. Yeah, I didn't date any of these, so I have no idea when I finished this. Here's some of my other goals. Do some sketches, post on DeviantArt. I don't even have a DeviantArt anymore. I'm pretty sure I deleted my account like the next year. Practice digital art. I think this was about when I got like an Intuos tablet and I had no clue what I was doing with it. So I think there might be a couple things from that in here. Draw with only pens more often. Yikes. Draw on paper bags? Why did I want to draw on paper bags? I could have just gotten a tone tan sketchbook if I cared that much. Work on anatomy and work on realism. I think I did work on a lot of anatomy in this book because I didn't know how any of it worked. As a little middle school child, I watched a lot of sketchbook tour videos, and everyone I watched had a little like title page with your like, welcome to my sketchbook. I think this was highly inspired by Drawing with Waffles, who I still very much watch to this day. Love them. And I'm pretty sure this specific image that I drew was either like a Mark Crilley tutorial or like a drawing that Mark Crilley did that I redrew. I was really into Mark Crilley at this time. I thought he was like the epitome of art. The next page, I don't think I drew on any of the backs of my pages. So that's fun. The next page is my attempt at a marker portrait of Taylor Swift from the 1989 era. I think it's recognizable, but it is by no means good. Like, you could look at this and say, that looks like Taylor Swift, but it's not good. These were two of my very first OCs. They were actually my and my best friend at the time OCs. Their names were Allie and Alex. and they were sisters. I don't remember if they were twins, I think they were, but they were sisters, and they went on all these adventures together, and we had like a whole story written out about them, and I decided to draw them. Can you tell which one was inspired by me? What is this? There's just sticky notes that say nope. Oh. Oh. That's why they say no. This is my duck-themed person. Just don't look at her. No wonder I covered this up. I never want to see this again, quite frankly. Oh, okay. My first, well, I don't think it was my first, but the first one in this sketchbook. My first drawing of Jack Frost. This was the prime of my infatuation with animated fictional characters. Jack Frost was my favorite. Still is. Anyway. Just don't think about the anatomy at all. The face is not horrible. I'll give myself that. The hair could be better, but it also could be worse. Also, the composition leaves something to be desired, but it's there. So, another page of sticky notes. This is great. I was so confident in myself. Let's remove them, shall we? My attempt at stylization. I mean, okay. The proportions are completely wrong, but I kind of hate that it's similar to the style I currently draw in. We've come full circle, haven't we? Testing out pencils and brush pens, as every artist does. I was really wasting so much, like, paper real estate.
It's free real estate.
I didn't draw a thing on the backs of these. Like, no wonder I, like, almost filled it. I didn't do any, like, what a waste. This was what I can only assume to be an unfinished drawing of Jack Frost in the Adventure Time style. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even watch Adventure Time at this age because I didn't have cable, and I don't think it was on Netflix yet. I don't even know if it's on Netflix now. I genuinely don't remember. However, I did that, apparently. Halloween Jack Frost. It just looks like Percy Jackson. But no, it was Halloween Jack Frost. Guess who it is again? Jack Frost. I think I had just like seen one of those like Tumblr posts that was like, oh my god, imagine if like your favorite fictional character showed up under your Christmas tree, and I was like, and then this happened. He has a little bow on his head, which I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good drawing of a tiny little bow. However, he has no fingers and toes. I am getting better at drawing his hair. I'm figuring it out. Like, it's there.
Like you cut, G.
What are these notes? What are those? Points to eyebrow. Yeah, eyebrows are okay.
What are those?
And then how do you draw closed eyes? Couldn't tell you, little me. Couldn't tell you. Okay, so by the time this video is out, I don't know if I will already have posted it or not, but I just did a redraw of, first of all, it's one of the pages in this sketchbook. Second of all, it's my Rise of the Guardians original character. There's nothing original about her. She's literally just like Cupid if she was a hot, pretty girl. but I found one of my other first drawings of her. Oh, and it's ship art too. First of all, she kind of cute. Second of all, what are their faces? What are those faces? And the anatomy. Yikes. But I do kind of love her little dress that she's got going on. I'm still a big fan of her, and I recently gave her a redesign slash makeover and made her 10 times hotter. Oh my god. Wait, I remember what these were. Okay, so when I was in like middle school, I don't remember what inspired this. I think it was like somebody else's story, and I just kind of was like, that's interesting. I'm gonna take little aspects of it and make it my own. But the characters and the plot and everything was mine, but it was like someone had a story based on like the deck of cards and like the houses and stuff, and I was like, it's free real estate.
It's free real estate.
It wasn't. I don't know who it was, and I don't remember what the story was at all, but I made characters that were like based on like each like house from a card deck. And then never did anything with them after this. However, all of them have 4-letter names that end with E. Also, I recognize this as like a Pose reference that I used. I don't know who it was by, but it was definitely a Pose reference because I wouldn't have come up with this on my own. But we have Kane, Rose, Shay, and Jace, and they were all based on a house from a deck of cards. Please focus, please focus, please focus. There we go. I just can't be in it. And I was just so original and creative. Oh my god, okay, this is her. Okay, so this is the drawing of the Rise of the Guardians OC from earlier that I redrew recently. Cupid, first of all, she's a baddie and she's hot. Second of all, what are those arms? And her hands, she doesn't have hands. And there's absolutely no volume to her hair. However, I applaud my effort that I put into her wings. That would not have been easy. So, good job, little me. I still very much like her. Okay, this was an attempt at doing a similar drawing in, I believe, coal erase colored pencil. And instead of my OC, I was drawing the Tooth Fairy. I did not finish this one because I got way too tired of drawing the feathers. She is staring into my soul. This is terrifying. Okay, I'm gonna need to like preface this one. So, I was attempting to draw Jack Frost again, and this time make it like look like the style of the movie. However, I messed up very badly, and so one of my friends and I decided to just massacre him. And I feel like that is important context for what I'm about to show you. I don't know how to explain this. Like, first of all, his shirt says cowabunga, and there's a cow on it. And a glass of milk and a flexed arm. Like, I kind of want that shirt now. But I could not tell you what is going on with his face or his hair, and frankly, I don't want to know. Here is the reattempt at that drawing that I never finished. Yay! It's literally just a hairless face with like no features. Yay! Ah, okay. Here's where the art lessons began. All of these were from YouTube, and I don't think I wrote anywhere who the original tutorial person was. So, whoever you are, I'm sorry. Sorry that I don't know who you are, and sorry that I have massacred what was probably a very useful tutorial. Here is me learning how to use different different values of pencil. I'm so good at this. I think I literally used my finger to smudge these. We don't do that here. Here is some more cats that were definitely referenced from the video, my EOS lip balm, and a pair of aviator sunglasses. Really telling of the era, don't you think? Yeah, these are just all like tutorials for how to draw like hands. Those fingers are way too short, or the palm is like too large. Like, what is that thumb? Like, that's not the right size. This was me learning the proportions of the head. Again, a tutorial for sure. It definitely kind of helped, but it's not very good. Okay, this was when I had just learned what a gesture drawing was. I did not use an undersketch on either of these. I just went for it, and it shows. Here's a facial reference for Cupid. I was just learning what character turnarounds were. Oh, how far we've come. That profile is not proportionate, and the front of her face, ooh.
That is not correct.
Well, here's a concept for a character named Rico, who works in a circus as a lion tamer, and there is no drawing there. It's like a stick figure, like it doesn't even show up on camera. There we go. Like, that is all I have for her. I was so talented. It is a wonder I made it into art school, let's be honest. So one of my teachers in middle school wanted me to draw something for the classroom that she was gonna hang up on her wall. And it was supposed to be like a drawing of, like, I'm pretty sure Lady Justice. Like not Lady Liberty, Lady Justice, or whatever. It was like an American government class, I don't know. And I found the sketch for it, and I remember like coloring this in with markers, and it looked really cool, but I transferred it to another like page, like probably like Bristol, because I think I started getting into Bristol those days. And like I colored it and I put it on like the nice paper and stuff, and I gave it to her to hang up in the classroom, and I never got it back. And I'm still a little mad about it. So if you're seeing this, can I have my work back from 7 years ago? Pretty please. I made another Rise of the Guardians character. Her name was Holly, and she was supposed to be like Santa Claus's like daughter, and this was kind of not bad. Like it's kind of good. Like, okay, like Her hair leaves something to be desired. There's no volume. It looks greasy and flat. But like, the expressions are pretty good. Like, I'm getting somewhere. I remember finishing this and being really proud of it, even though it was, I'm pretty sure she was a self-insert too, I'm not gonna lie.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I don't know who she is, but hello. I'm pretty sure I referenced like a photo off of like Pinterest or something. 5 to 10-ish minutes. Okay, she's here. She exists. My profiles are definitely getting better though. Like that feels a little more reminiscent of the like Jack Frost and my OC Holly drawing that I just did. I think this was in my like, I want to be good at drawing profiles phase. So we're getting somewhere. This was when I got alcohol markers. So if you're anything like me, you're broke and you can't afford Copics. So I got like the Prismacolor alcohol markers, and I definitely had like a 50% off Michael's coupon to get them. But behold, the 3-color challenge in Prismacolor marker, and I ended up selecting 3 blue markers that were very, very similar in value, and I suffered. I also knew nothing about building up markers, so, yikes. I think this was supposed to be me. We're still in the portraits, but I think this was supposed to be me, and I apparently drew this in a car. Let's just do a little side by side. Hold on. Yeah, the resemblance is uncanny. I found my first piece of digital art. I forgot I printed it. I also printed it on photo paper, so like if you rub your hand over it, your finger will turn black. It's not showing up. That's embarrassing. Anyway, it's a drawing of Dan and Phil. It's a drawing of a photo of Dan and Phil. I did this on an Intuos tablet, and I did not know how, like, look how shaky my lines are.
You have a situation where you are really to say
Like,
which the future is.
they're not smooth at all. To be fair, I didn't know what the like line stabilizer tool was when I did this, but I also didn't know about the line stabilizer tool until like senior year of high school. So I just ended up kind of learning how to do good, like decent lines by myself. That's why line art is like my favorite part to do in a drawing. But yeah, I still don't use the stabilizer tool for like anything. I mean, I'd probably use it for like professional work, but like for my personal stuff, that baby is off. We've come a long way. Oh my god, okay, so this was the beginning of my like miraculous ladybug phase. And I just really wanted to make a story like just like that. So this is literally like a ripoff. But I had taken my Cupid character from Rise of the Guardians and turned her into a superhero. And she had a best friend who was also a superhero, and I think her name was like Samantha or something. And they had another partner who was a guy, I don't remember his name. And like, but I wanted it to be like the main character and the guy were in love with each other, and the best friend was trying to set them up, and none of them knew who their identities were except for the 2 girls who were already best friends. And it was like really dumb and stupid, but I did like a marker drawing of them, and like they kind of cute, I am not gonna lie. And I think I have a drawing of the dude later in this book. But yeah, and this is literally my recycled Rise of the Guardians character too. And a girl named Samantha. Oh, her name is Rose. I changed her name from Cupid to Rose, and I think her superhero name is Cupid. And I know this because I made an awful comic. Oh no, wait. Oh, the guy's name is Chris. The most like basic white boy name I could have thought of, just Chris. I was at least trying to find like a cartoony style here though. I'll give myself props for that. Yep, here it is. Is there anything on the back of this? No. Here is Cupid and Chris. It's a very like adult lady noir vibe going on with them. Ooh, I gave her gloves? Wait a second. I forgot about this. Like I said before, I recently like totally redesigned her, but not totally. It was only like a bust shot, and I forgot I gave her these kick-ass gloves. I might have to revisit my redesign. Like, look at that. Her gloves match her boots. Like, Miss Girl. Damn. Remember that profile drawing from a few minutes ago of Cupid? I colored it. She has pink and white hair. Okay. Another Jack Frost drawing. This is a screenshot redraw on just a loose leaf piece of printer paper. And it is seen from the movie I recognize. And seeing this mirrored in the viewfinder, I am realizing how much is wrong with it. Ooh. Juicy. I found my first redraw. Can we appreciate, like, I drew like this in 2012, and like 3-4 years later, I started drawing like this. Like, it's not great, but that is a lot of improvement for like, dang. Okay, I might have to redraw this next. Oh my god, I have to. It would be like 10 years this summer, because this is August 6th, 2012. This summer, I'm redrawing this, and it's gonna be a 10 years thing. This is gonna be great. This is a great idea. Expect that. Hold me to it. I won't do it on my own. Hold me to it. I did another, this is my second digital piece. And my DPI was not high enough. It's probably 72. But this is the sketch for it.
Oh my god, what is that?
Definitely based that outfit on like Taylor Swift's 22 music video. But here's the digital version.
Oh my god!
That is
what
very
is that?
pixelated. And I don't think this file exists anymore because I'm pretty sure I did this with my Intuos on my dad's laptop. My dad's janky old laptop, because I did not have a computer of my own yet. This page just says top secret ideas. What do I do with this? Are they really top secret? Oh, hello. These are my ideas for the Cupid superhero thing. Okay. Funky. A squad of really cool superheroes who fight crime together and stuff. I'm so creative. Definitely did not just rip that off of a Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction I read. Because this was before Ladybug had given her friends the other Miraculouses. This was just when we knew we'd found out that there were more, and then people made up like a whole, like that they were gonna be a squad, and then it didn't actually happen really. But I wanted it to, so I wrote my own thing where it did happen. Anyway, they don't know each other's true identities yet. Superhero Chris has a crush on Cupid, but she just wants to be friends and also wants to be a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. I'm not kidding, that is what I wrote here. This is literally a Miraculous Ladybug ripoff, but like, yikes. Oh, okay. I found their superhero names and stuff. So Rose's full name is Rose Green, but green is spelled with an E at the end because I'm creative. And her superhero name is Cupid. Chris does not have a last name, and he is a shapeshifter whose superhero name is Mimic. That's not bad. I'll give myself props for that. And Samantha, who does not have a last name either, her superpower was duplication, and her superhero name was Mirage. And there are 3 empty spaces for other characters that I never made. Yep, there is 6 of them, and they're all cool. Okay, little me, whatever you say. Yeah, okay, yeah, the rest of these are literally blank. Anyway, that was my very first sketchbook from like 7 years ago. If you decided to stay for this long, consider hitting the like button. And if you'd like to see more of me and my content, you can subscribe. All of my links will be in the description below. And hopefully we can hang out again very soon. Bye! Oh god, there's another person. I really chose to film this in the middle of the day. Oh god. Yeah, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Do not look over here. Okay. Anyway. Really? You're gonna turn off in the middle of my video. Come on. Do better. Oh god, there's a woman staring in my window. Oh god. Okay. So that was weird. Anyway. I don't know how to speak. This is a mess. This woman, she's just like, she's backing out of her car and she's just like staring at me. You never seen a YouTuber before? Anyway. I keep staring at the viewfinder and not the lens. This is gonna be a rough video. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, no. Please do not look up, please. Please, just get in your car and go away. Don't look into my room. I'm begging you. Who is calling me? No. Get out of here. Rude. Another. What? Why is everybody walking this way? I hate where my room is. I love it, but I hate it. It's fun to people watch, but it's not fun when people watch me.
Because the moment you have a situation where you are really in
Piss.
that is to say, in which the future is almost completely
Piss.
predictable.
I drew way too light, and now I'm like way too heavy-handed, but like at least now my drawings show up on a camera. This is rough. I'm gonna have a fun time editing this video. Oh my god, they're staring at me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! That was stupid.